I am live. Cool. Testing 1, 2. There we go. Woohoo. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Just put that in there. So today I'm doing some editing. If you want to join me, got some tracks from Skylark Recording in the Quad Cities, Rock Island, Illinois, and did a heck of a job. So I had to pull them all in, consolidate them, clean up between the spaces, and now I'm just doing some with a fine-tooth comb, going through, making sure stuff jives and aligns very well so everything gels together. Right now I'm working on, I got the chorus done, and if you can see here, all my vocals, I made them all blue, so I know what I'm looking at, just different shades of blue. I like to do that. And guitar stuff, purple, orange, bass, so it makes it easy for me to, my workflow keeps me organized and stuff. So right now I just put some separations in, so when I'm moving stuff, it's not impacting stuff way down here, and in case I forget to put the drag handles in there, so when I go into warp mode. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and do some editing. I may talk, I may not talk, and most likely just going to go ahead and continue editing here so you can see what goes into a production every time I put a song out. I mean, I've spent a good 8 to 10 hours just on vocal editing, so if that tells you something. All the editing I do for the guitars is pretty intense, but I'm just going to dig right in here and show you what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and get in here. Right now I've already time aligned this main verse vocal. I'll let you hear it.
Scratch the surface, become the earth.
So these are harmonies right here that I'll go ahead and unmute those so you can hear those. Here's what they sound like.
Plant the seed has life.
So you can hear they're out of alignment, and it's just kind of washy sounding. So this is where I go in and spend a lot of time. First thing I like to do is grab these two. I'm going to go ahead and make a group out of them. So whenever I edit one, these were originally stereo pairs. We have a close mic, and then we have a room mic. And what's awesome about this room mic, thank you Farley, is he had them in stereo pairs, but his room is a church. How cool is that? So basically what you're hearing is the room of a church. I'll go ahead and
Plant the seed. Plant the seed.
how cool is that?
Plant the seed.
All right, so I just want to share that with you, how it was captured, which I'm pretty stoked in how good it sounds. Usually there's a lot of room in there. What I've noticed, if I just drop this track down to like 11, minus 11, 12, it's fine. It's a great kind of starting point. I'm not going to actually do the mixing. I'm just doing all the editing, and eventually what happens is I consolidate each one of these tracks as one solid file. You can see like that. And what that does is when the studio I send it to, I give them the WAV files. All they have to do is pull them all in. There's no alignment, there's no nothing they have to do. Maybe, there could be pitch correction, etc. But so I allow the mixer to focus on mixing, EQing, and all the good stuff. So I like to get the editing done very well, so that I don't have to spend a lot of time with those little tweaks and fixes. So the more organized you are, the better your workflow is. Like if you title everything Vox verse 1, Vox verse 1, and then the room, and Vox verse 2, Vox verse harmony, if they all start with Vox, what happens in your folder is you'll see they're alphabetical right here, so it'll be easy again when you hand them off to the next place. All you have to do is grab all your Voxes, or they'll see when they bring them in. Oh, here's all the vocals. Boom. Here's all the drums. All drums start with drums. If you look here, drums kick, drums tom 1, drum tom 2, drums tom 3, drums hi-hat. So again, they're going to be organized in that wave file folder, and all I have to do is pull them in. They'll say, oh, here's all my drums, here's my bass, because I start with bass, here's all my guitar stuff. So much easier. I'm telling you, organize. I think it was Chris Lord-Alge said the best. Organization is everything. If you don't have that, you don't have shit, basically. Because, and it might sound harsh that he said that, and it may sound harsh that I'm saying that, but it's true. Like, there's a lot of times where you don't need all these tracks. I mean, I could probably consolidate some of these if I wanted to, but it's just like, why do we need like 60 tracks? Like, I mean, come on. Like, there's some parts of the same you can consolidate those into less amount of tracks. But this is how, I have quite a few vocal tracks here, and they're divided into verse, chorus, and bridge. That's pretty simple. And I give them the option, the mixing engineer, if they want the room mic, they can blend the room mic. I personally really like the room mic, so it has a really cool vibe to it. All the echoing you hear in the chamber of the church. Okay, so, all right, I think I grouped these together right here. All right, let's make a group. Looks like I haven't grouped them yet. It's easy to get off of task here. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight these 2 tracks, new group, and I'll call this Vox verse harm 1. So what that's going to do is when I click on this cursor here now, as you can see, oops, Control Z, you can see now that anything I do to this track is also being done to that track because they're grouped together. So you can see when my handle and when I highlight things, you can see that they're both selected. So, okay, let's get in there. I'm going to zoom in now. And this is the tedious work. It takes an ear, repetitive listening to get it right. What I like to do is make it nice and big, so I can get in there and zoom in real nice. And I have it right now. I have my grid set up to 16th notes. You can see where they start. It looks like there's some, pretty good alignment here already. With vocals, it's a lot different. You have to listen for the vowels. So in plant, you have to look for that when that sound comes out. You'll see the wave. You want that to hit, land on basically on the grid, so it's in good alignment. But you don't want to overdo it, or else it can sound very robotic. So it's just a matter of doing what you like, and I like to do that. I like to do this and keeping things. I'm going to go ahead and put it in polymorphic mode, polyphonic mode. Polymorphic, that's funny. So I got it in polyphonic mode, and I went ahead and already did this analysis. I'll go ahead and put it in warp mode. And now you can see I have little handles here. And basically, we're going to go ahead and stretch a line. I like to use it in slip mode up here, so it's not like locking everything to the grid. I like to have that flexibility of moving things around. And then I like to activate handles further down line, so because if you move something up here, it's going to affect anything down the line. That's kind of like I put in like safety mechanisms. Like I might just right there add a new warp marker. So that basically, even though I already separated, I put separations in. I like to do that to give myself an extra security policy here. So you could see let's go ahead and listen. Okay, not too bad. Like, I think what I'm hearing there is it should start, this should start like right here where it starts blooming. You can hear the hard T sound. You can see it up here where I already did the alignment, and you can see how late it is there. So what I'll do is I'll grab that handle. I'm trying to grab it right there. Get right where this, you have to look right in here, right where that starts the blooming. It goes up. Try to hear those T's come together now. I'm telling you, man, this is the difference maker between people who do this very well professionally and those that just kind of slap things together. I like the sound of that.
the seed.
That sounds actually pretty good there. I might not edit as much in between. I might just get the landing points, I like to call them, downbeats. So probably move this way a little bit more to where it's blooming just a little bit.
The seed. The seed.
And maybe compare it without it.
The seed.
Not too bad as it is. Maybe just this.
The seed. The seed.
So this might be just a little bit early here.
The seed has life.
So right there where that has comes in. It's a little bit late. So I can just pull that. I think it's right there on the grid. Right where it blooms.
The seed has life.
Yep. Definitely hear that come together. It gives it a smooth sound. Everybody says like if you align too much it can sound robotic. Yes, but it can also sound smooth, especially when you're making things come together like the harmony.
Seed has life. Seed has life.
So definitely that's late right there. I'll go ahead and grab this handle. And you can kind of compare it to this up here where I already did it. So right where that's somewhere around there, you can see where it peaks right here. You might just grab it right there. Let's see.
Seed has life. Seed has life.
Sounds pretty good.
Seed has life. We go.
Definitely that lands.
Seed has life. We go.
That sounds much better. And then we're pretty much done with this line almost.
We go.
I like that. Let's just play around with this. This is C right there. Just make it a smidge late. Something about just things being just a smidge late.
We go. We go.
I could end this where that ends up there. You could see I can comparing this up here at the top compared to this and see what that does to it. And I don't really like to do tail end stuff too much because it could sound, let's see what just be extreme about it.
We go.
I'll just leave it alone. Leave those, try not to distort the waves too much by stretching them.
We go.
Yeah, I'd leave that alone. There's certain things you just need to leave alone and not overcompensate. Oh, so you can stretch it too much and then it sounds real wacky.
The seed has life. We go. I'll always be here.
So I think I like that pass. What I'll do now is I'll listen to it in context. I'll stand back, just like close my eyes and listen to it and see if I hear anything. See if I hear anything that just sounds jarring to me, like, oh, that could be a little bit, earlier. That could be a little bit later. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Plant the seed has life. We go.
To me, I think that sounds great. I think that sounds really good. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to move on. You gotta decide when to move on, and I think that's time to move on. And you can always go back and listen to it overall, and sometimes you might hear things that you haven't heard before or you missed, and that's okay. The goal isn't complete and total perfection, but smoothing it out is definitely what I like to do. Can't wait to do a callback scream in the outro. Oh yes, I'm gonna lay down a callback scream when I'm done editing on this song in the bridge. Actually, in the outro, not the bridge. Maybe I'll do a podcast. Maybe I won't of that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and continue editing. I'm gonna drop some warp markers there. I call this kind of like boxing in. I'm a self-taught Pro Tools guy, so terms I'm using may not align with the technical names. I do know a lot of shortcuts. I don't know them all. A lot of times I forget them and have to go look them up on YouTube, but I could definitely see, look at this, like see where that waveform is on that hash line, like right here, and then look below. It's like this is way late, it appears, so there's going to be some alignment here. I could see here too versus down here. It's like off by that much. So let's see what we can do with this.
I'll shade,
I'll shade,
I'll shade the sun.
I'll shade the sunlight. So let's try to move that right there, maybe.
I'll shade, I'll shade, I'll shade the sun. I'll shade, I'll shade.
Let's see what happens when we do that.
I'll shade the sun.
Yep.
I'll shade the sun. I'll shade the sunlight. I'll shade the sunlight.
This needs to come in.
I'll shade the sunlight.
Yep, that's coming together now. She's coming together.
I'll shade the sunlight.
So this definitely needs to be nudged. It's long. Help that out just a little bit. I think I'm gonna try doing it right where it curves upward. See what happens. I gotta back that up now. Close that window there.
Shade the sunlight. I'll shade the sunlight.
It's not too bad. Maybe there's right there.
I'll shade the sunlight.
Okay, I heard the hard T sound. I'll add a warp marker there. And since I stretched that so far forward, if I uncheck this, it should shift forward a little bit. Looks like I'm about an eighth off here, so I'm gonna just, for the hell of it, see how this sounds. Move that up there.
Sunlight.
Oh yeah, see how those come together?
Sunlight. Sunlight.
So if I back up, let's hear the whole phrase.
I'll shade the sunlight.
I like it. Another thing you can do too is I could like pan this just to hear. I'll pan it to the right just for a little bit. 43, that's fine.
I'll shade the sunlight.
Oh yeah, I like that. I think that section is done. Well, why are you allowing this? Well, because humans can't record to the millisecond or the 16th note perfectly. There's latency in the recording. There's latency. There's just so many. There's so many areas that there could be latency and between your frickin' DAW and your interface between the mic and there's just the clocking speed of your computer. So there's always going to be some latency until we really, I think once we're on like USB 4.0 or something like that, and they can figure out ways to make it the latency less or non-existent practically. I mean, you can put Pro Tools in a low latency monitoring, and that's great for when you're recording. But even then, you're still, like I said, you don't want to take the humanity out of it. It's that balance I keep talking about. But this is the way I do it, and this is the way people's ears are kind of used to hearing music, modern music today, which people could be going, ugh, right now. But I think it sounds, with the ear that I've developed, I think it sounds better when you can get things to gel together and it's smoother and it's more pleasing. So, all right, enough of that. I'm just going to keep doing what I do, and I think it sounds good.
I'll shade the sunlight, and as it burns my skin, your time.
All right, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to put some warp markers there. I'm going to box this in, as I call it. This warp mode stuff is so powerful. I mean, you're stretching audio without impacting the pitch. And these are just minute little nudges, really. So they're inaudible. It's amazing.
Take the first step.
Whoa, that is way out. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Take the first step.
like this right here should be like around this area right here. I'll go ahead and grab this handle. I'm gonna move it to where, see where the peak is right here on this waveform? Right there. And I want it to land right on that entry.
Take the first.
There we go. And I'll just keep doing that. This guy. I'm comparing it to what's above. Maybe right in there. Let's see how that sounds.
Take the first step. Take the first step.
That's good. It's just this long note here needs to be earlier. Monitor this tail here. Okay, so I think this guy is like needs to be like right in here. Beautiful. Boy, did that come together.
Takes a first step.
Takes a. I might get that right there.
Takes a first step.
Perfect. That's beautiful. So you can see I only used 1, 2, 3, 4 handles to adjust that spot.
Takes a first step.
Beautiful. Moving on. Make this song that's coming together. I hope you have appreciation for this. You know, people don't even bother to spend 99 cents on a song we put out. And here we are, you know, 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours just in freaking editing for vocals. Unbelievable. People like don't understand what goes into production, audio, recording, producing, the equipment, the time, the effort. Yet no one wants to buy music anymore. It's a shame. Unfortunately, I'm kind of on that side of it, because what's the incentive to do it? I love it. That's my incentive. But it sure would help if we could make the royalties. We could, you know, not looking to get rich, but enough to cover the cost of doing this would be make it even more worthwhile. Well, you're greedy. Well, no, it's just I think anybody's incentivized by money. Well, why do you have a job? You know, so you can pay your bills and have a quality of lifestyle. Well, those days are gone.
In my wake, these thoughts.
So I could definitely hear some lateness in there. I can definitely see it too. So I'm going to go ahead and activate these handles up here and here. Right there should be where it curves up right to that peak.
In.
Beautiful. Hear how those came together? I'm going to do a Control Z.
In.
Here to in.
In.
Oh, redo that.
In.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
In.
Dusty did a hell of a job tracking. He is a very good vocalist. If you haven't checked out his stuff, The Smith on Facebook, you can go check his profile out, and he just puts out great music, and it's been nothing but a pleasure working with him because he puts so much effort into the song. He sings, he spends a lot of time coming up with hooks, and just a great lyricist and a great singer, great songwriter. Always admired him. And Farley as well, who, you know, went to school out in the West Coast for recording. And I don't know if it was Full Compass or where that was, but he has a great studio and awesome setup in Rock Island. Yeah, this is going to need some work in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch that down. Looks like this needs to be brought right. Let's try that. Let's see what happens there.
my way.
This guy needs to come right there.
My way.
Beautiful. I think there's a hard consonant. And you hear that. And you can see up here it starts a little earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and, even though it's a little off grid, I don't care. I'm just going to mirror. Oops, Control Z that. Yeah, warp handle. As you saw, the stuff move down here. If I put a handle in there, now it doesn't move. So how about right there? Let's see if I can get those K's to come together.
My way.
Yep.
My way.
Just nudge it.
My way.
Perfect. So let's hear this together now.
In my way.
Beautiful. Just keep moving down the line here. It's like this is, you can see how it's almost diagonal, like it's getting later and later. So I think this section here, let me zoom out. Oh yeah, I still have quite a bit to do there. But you can see I've already, you know, done the first harmony. This is how much work I have left. Let me go all the way out to the end of the song. No, just this 2 harmonies in the chorus. I got to here to the end of there to do. So go ahead and put some handles here. warp marker. Right click to do that. So we'll drop in here, zoom in. I hold my Alt key and then scroll my ball forward on the mouse.
These thoughts.
Okay. Pretty boring, huh? Someone's got to do it. Let's try that.
These thoughts.
This thoughts has to go right here. Make it right where that carves up.
These thoughts.
Perfect.
These thoughts. These thoughts.
Those come together pretty good, I think.
These thoughts.
Yep. This is like I'm giving Dusty the Axl Rose treatment. He was totally obsessed with all the consonants and how he sings things. It's almost kind of reminds me of those days. I mean, you put all this effort into the song. Why are we going to cut corners? Nope, we're not cutting corners.
These thoughts. These thoughts.
Okay, I'm getting a little wave blind here, but I think that this needs to go right there. Okay, like that. Beautiful. Just smooths it out, man. It's like butter. I think I might actually commit to shortening this tail end on this one. Like, right there. Yeah, there we go. See how that sounds together.
These thoughts. These thoughts to cherish.
That sounds really good to me.
These thoughts to cherish. Go deep, the river cuts the earth and leaves a canyon.
I must have did some shifting inadvertently, making a move further down the line and didn't box myself in. That's what I'm talking about, man. You gotta pay attention. But I can easily fix these, so. Wow.
It leaves a canyon. It leaves a canyon.
I think that this guy has quite a bit of shift here. We will, according to this thing, it should be like right there. Right there.
It leaves a canyon. It leaves a canyon.
Okay, I think I see it now. Right there.
Leaves a
Let's see what my phone is doing here. Got 2 people watching now. A whole 2 people. That's all we got. 2 people. I don't much care. I'm just trying to share my knowledge here.
It leaves a canyon.
Gotta get back in the groove again. Get distracted. There we are. Live. Hey Razatti, what's going on, Trevor? Hey Tree, hope everything's going well. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. Not a whole lot, Joe Vandy. All right, digging in. So this note right here needs to go right there, which should follow all that other stuff in line, which it did. So I'm more comfortable now about that. Let's see what we have. It's almost like this needs to go out here.
leaves a can.
Nah. I think this has to go here, is what's going on.
It leaves a canyon.
Yep.
It leaves a canyon. It leaves a canyon.
Let's see if I may shorten this one here. I don't think that needs it. I mean, I could put a handle here and pull it to match this. It ducks itself pretty decent.
Canyon.
I like it. Okay, moving on.
My heels are dug. My heels are...
Yeah, so this guy, this is the last one, basically needs to go here.
My heels are dug. My heels are dug. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I think that's it.
My heels are dug.
There's a little bit of
My heels are dug. Yeah.
zoom into this spot again. How about right here? I think that's about right there.
My heels are dug. My heels are dug.
If I pull that way.
My heels are dug. Yeah.
I think that sounds about good. So let's just go back through. We'll zoom way back out again. You can see here's all the edits I made for that section. The verse harmonies.
Plant the seed, has life begun?
What's up, Pops? Happy Father's Day. Doing some little editing here for our new song called Zero Below, which is kind of written about being a dad, which is cool.
Scratch the surface, become the earth. Plant the seed, has life begun? I'll always be here by your side. I'll shade the sunlight, and as it burns my skin, your time takes the first step. I'm frozen in a place in time without you. Your pain is mine. I'm frozen in a place in time without you. Mold my face in time. I'll perish in my wake. These thoughts to cherish. Go deep, the river cuts the earth and leaves a canyon. I've held the dam back since your birth. My heels are dug in.
I like it. I think that sounds really good. It looks like I have, there's another part here that I gotta align, which is gonna be simple. There's only 2 parts. Oops, Control Z, my favorite key. Undo. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna commit to that. I might listen to this one tail end one more time, just and sit back again.
In time, I'll perish in my wake. These thoughts to cherish. Go deep, the river cuts the earth and leaves a canyon. I've held the dam back since your birth. My heels are dug in.
Yep, I think that's a freaking successfully edited vocal verse harmony. Hopefully, let's see here. Hopefully you can hear me out there, Pops and everybody. So I think I got my stuff set up right, as far as I can tell. So next step is, after I'm done editing things in warp mode, I go ahead and click on this little handle here, and I'll go ahead and put it back to none to disable it. And it's going to ask me, do you want to revert back to what it was? Heck no. After all that work, I want to commit that. So now it's recalculating the waveforms, and boom, there you go. So now I have, I still have slices that I need to put back together. So what I like to do is, this is just how I do it. Again, self-taught guy. I like to put it in grid mode, number one, and I'll drop my cursor down like that and highlight these two tracks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a crossfade where these little seams are here. Every time you see a seam, that's where there's a separation in the wave or separation. So just to ensure, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control F, and I'm going to insert crossfade. So basically it makes like an X. It goes down to 0 and back up, so you can't hear any clicks or separation between the tracks. My next hotkey, I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt-Shift-3. Boom. That makes it now, consolidates it to one track. So that's a finished track right there. What I'm going to do to make it cleaner, each one of these, I'll double click on the track, and I'm going to take out these automated 01s here. There. It'll change the file name, and it will change what's listed. So now I'll come over here, drop my cursor, and hopefully my screen, I might shrink down my screen here. Let's play him back here. Let's do that. Click on this guy. Get that out of the way. There we go. Much better. There's such a lag between what I'm seeing on Facebook. Bud, what's up? Sup, Pops? Sup? So yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my clips here. I like to say select unused and clear and send to recycle bin. Yes, boom. Got rid of all those little pieces and parts. And then all I have to do is finish up. I will go ahead and edit this vocal verse harmony 2. So you have a verse and a verse harmony 1 and 2. Looks like he did this on the tail end. Let's take a listen to those, see what they sound like unedited. Zoom in here. I'm looking right here. Okay.
Time takes the first step.
First of all, I'm going to go ahead and turn down the sound from the church that he recorded in, some of that room. Let's kind of blend it down. It sounds really good. I love it.
Time takes the first step.
Now that's what I call reverb. It's like real reverb.
Time takes the first step.
That reverb from that church and that room mic is awesome. Gives it a cool vibe. Come down to this one. You could see that between this here and this, the bottom ones are slightly late.
My heels are dug in.
It looks like it's a falsetto harmony.
My heels are dug in.
So yeah, that's a falsetto harmony. So we'll go ahead and, which is really cool. All right, let's go ahead and put this in polyphonic mode. Oop, before I do that, make this a group. So these two tracks here, I need to make this track and this track. New group. I'm gonna call this Vox Verse Harm 2. So now when I click on this here, there we go. Now I got it in group mode. I'll go ahead and hit polyphonic. So it's processing that right now, so that I can go ahead and put it in warp mode. Waveform to warp. And there you'll see there's little drag handles. Get rid of this side of the screen. And we'll go ahead and zoom in Do-do-do. I almost have to zoom out a little bit because it's just long held notes. I'm going to go ahead and put a elastic warp marker there and one out here. Okay, so this should be pretty damn easy. You can clearly see where this waveform starts, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this one and put it in slip mode. In grid mode, it just snapped it right to the grid. Slip is what it is. You can incrementally move it around. That's what I call it, slip mode. Talking nanoseconds. All right. This needs to be pulled forward. And I might make these tracks a little bit bigger in view here so it shows up better. Zoom back out.
Takes a first, takes a first, takes a first.
What's that gonna do?
Takes a first.
Yep.
Takes a first step.
You may or may not be able to hear the differences. You may in your tiny little cell phone, if you're watching this on a cell phone. But good, the sound's good. Thanks, Dad.
Takes a first step.
So let's see, sometimes my spacebar gets stuck. This guy needs to move forward right there, right where it's peaking up there. That waveform gets power. I think this should be pretty good in alignment right here.
Takes a first step.
That sounds good to me. Sounds unified, sounds smooth.
Takes a first step.
And we'll go down to the next one. Or you can zoom out just to see them. Looks like I only have 1 and 2 to do way down here. Zoom in. We'll drop a warp marker there. And we'll get in there. I could see pretty clearly right here. See the differences where this starts up here. Get this all smoothed out. Get it all gelling.
My heels are dug in.
There, it's like late. Okay. Actually, I can Control Z that. Let me activate some of these handles here, so I have more control over it. There. Right.
My heels are dug.
Right there. Right there.
My heels are dug. My heels are dug in.
So I think this guy. I'm going to activate that down there just for the heck of it. My heels are dug in. The in should be right there.
Dug in.
I might move this dug in right there.
Dug in.
Let's shorten this guy just a pinch. Tail end.
Dug in.
To me, that sounds really good. Let me now hear the whole thing in context.
Since your birth, my heels are dug in. I'm frozen in a place.
Sounds good to me. And I'll go back to the first harmony.
Takes a first step.
Sounds good. We're getting ourselves a song here. Have ourselves a song.
My heels are dug in.
Awesome. So I like that. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of polyphonic mode right here and say none disable elastic audio, and I'm going to go ahead and commit that. It's going to recalculate the waveform. Same thing, I'll put it in grid mode now, and I'll drop my cursor here, right here, drag it all the way to 0, all the way to the left, and we're going to Control F, insert our crossfades where all these little gaps are, and our separations, and then we'll go ahead and Alt Shift 3, that consolidates it. Now we have ourselves a beautiful solid waveform. Look at that. It's just so what's the word I'm looking for? It's satisfying. That's it. Very satisfying when you look at this and beautiful blocks here. All that hard work. It's like, go ahead and relabel these. Take the 01s off of them. Keep it nice and organized. There we go. Drop my cursor over here, come down, expand my clips window, select unused clips, and then we're going to click on clear, move to recycle bin. Yes. Look at how much shorter this list is of clips because of all the editing I've done. So this makes an engineer's life, a mixing engineer's life, so much easier. Look at that, just perfect block right there. Everything's nice and aligned and smooth sounding. I've got the verse is completely done, the chorus is completely done, and now I'm gonna have to work on the bridge and do the same thing to these. Originally these were stereo pairs right here, but he broke them out in mono for me so he can give the engineer the option to mute out the room mic if he wants. Very cool. So I hope you enjoyed. It was fun. I enjoy this stuff. I nerd out on it. I love it. And I love the results you get after all that hard work. And then you get to send it off for mix down. So what I usually do is once I get all the editing done, I let Dusty listen to it and then have him comb it over with his ears and then see if there's anything I missed or if he needs anything. Oh, I hear this like phrase is a little bit out of alignment, or hear like, this T sound came after this T sound. If he hears those things that I didn't catch, then he'll let me know. Most of the time I do a good enough job to where there's hardly any input, but always though, you can fry your ears from listening to the same thing over and over or make a mistake even. So cool. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, get the word out. Lots of work goes into this, and hope everybody has a safe and happy Father's Day. Thanks for all you kick-ass dads out there. This is my first Father's Day, so it's pretty special. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get me some barbecue. Peace out, everybody.